In 1984, my mom, Estelle, came home and she said she was transformed by an experience of going to a Louise Hay seminar. Louise Hay is one of the pioneers of positive psychology, about believing that what you think determines what you feel and what you bring into the world. And I was amazed, but I was young, and I made fun of what I read in the book that she brought home, You Can Heal Your Life. It said things like, I love myself the way I am. You look in the mirror and you repeat this over and over again, these positive affirmations. And I would make fun of these things as being cheesy or a bit over the top. But I don't feel that way anymore as an adult. There's been several studies that show that when you focus on those positive affirmations in a way that connects your emotions to those feelings, it's much more powerful than having that negative voice in your head. Now, here are a few ways that a person who's feeling down can reverse that. And the number one thing you can do is you can say, I love myself. You can do a feedback loop. So regardless of where you are in your life, you can say over and over again, I love myself. Inside, I love myself. I love myself. Louise Hay said, I love myself as I am, which is something you could do too. In handwriting, if your capital I goes backward, so if it goes all the way back to the left, all the way back to the left, or you know someone in your family or in your work, you happen to see their writing, and it goes all the way slant back to the left, what that could mean is that they are not feeling particularly good about themselves. They might not feel, I love myself. So the first thing you can do, which is based on Louise Hay's in another book, which has become quite popular, which is Focusing on Loving Yourself by Ravit Namakan, is say I love myself. The second thing is meditation is helpful in being conscious and being present with our thoughts and letting them subside. But meditation doesn't work for everybody when they're feeling depressed, when they're feeling overwhelmed with sadness. One thing you can do along this line of loving yourself is a meditation for 7 minutes in which you do the following. You sit or you walk, and you say to yourself, I love myself, and you imagine light coming into you or through you. So you sit there, it's easier sitting than walking, and you simply say over and over again, I love myself, and you allow light to come through you. Again, it's breaking up that negative voice. As simplistic as this sounds, sometimes simple is best. It interrupts that negative doubt, that self-pity, that helplessness that we feel, especially some of us have felt over the past few months. The third thing you can do is write out all the things that you need to forgive yourself for. What mistakes have you made at work or in your life that you're not giving yourself a break, that you continue to beat yourself up over? When you write things out by hand, it has the ability of transferring that negativity, that heaviness into the page. You're putting it right out on the page. And then when you put those areas that you need forgiveness on for yourself, you look at those for a week, every day. You breathe in and you say, after you read it over, I love myself, and then rip it up. In Buddhist tradition, they have an idea. I went to a Buddhist ceremony about 20 years ago, and they had us write out these type of areas that were hard on ourselves, that were angry of actions or decisions that we did or we didn't do, and then at the end of it, we put it in a fire. And I love that idea, or burying it in the ground. Now, this is something that anybody can do right now, and if you're going into a work meeting and you're feeling stressful, you're feeling uncertain, just keep saying to yourself, I love myself. It can't hurt. And it has the power of reframing and pushing you into being your best self. And if you have that I, you might want to be aware of, as it's going back, what is making you think that way? And ask yourself this question. If I loved myself, what would I do? In work, at home, as a parent, as a child? If I loved myself, what would I do? And then answer that question in the next action. I'm Jamie Mason Cohen, and this is an episode of Chalk Talk.